him attention getter. Keeping it.
In a few minutes, we will be preparing to open the Hip Hop Summit.
And corrupt come back home. But at the same time, these same people who get in the media when I'm gone, I'm in prison, to say how they had bad deals. Friday, you know I'm gonna keep it one way. Yeah, you sold 1 million records, but you don't have $1 million. So the same person who complained about Death Row, who made $10, $15 million, you don't even have $1 million. And they ain't gonna give you one. But they'll gather support, they'll tell everybody what they want to hear at a certain time. But at the same time, I'm going to be the last nigga standing. A lot of people talk about their new label. A lot of people got fast. I want to go like this. This means give back with me in 10 years. You stay around for 10 years and still be yourself, happiness is everything. Once again, it's not about putting nobody down. But at the same time, what are y'all going to do for us? I can look at this panel. I can go down the line. You know I got love for Steve Harvey. You can't love Steve Harvey. You think he cleaner than me. Hey, we got some independent things. Are you gonna play our record? Big boy! What's going on, man? There's independent labels out there. You gonna play that record?
Yeah.
What we gonna do? We can have these all day. At the end of the day, we're gonna be the end of the song. We're gonna help each other. When it's about time we help each other, but there gotta be a constitution. Because I think one thing wrong with us. I'm far from a racist. I know it's all racists in here. But I think black people is the most forgiving race ever existed. This is all bad. You go all the way back to slavery. And somebody raping your wife. And you gotta live with that she done been, I'm gonna say it like it is, dig him out, got a thing blow out, right? And the only thing you wanna do is hum and say, Lord, that's not gonna get it. The more, if you go to slavery times, the more they beat slaves, majority, the louder they hum. They beat them. Lord. And keep on beating them. Same thing we do in this society. A lot of people go and say, oh, that's the homeboy. He snitched on everybody else, but he ain't snitched on me. He's still a snitch. That's the homeboy. He ran out on the homies, but he, you know, hey, he ain't nothing. It got to be a point where we start setting examples. Demonstration better than conversation. It got to start being a point where if a person's no good, he's a no good. Y'all got more control. Y'all buying their record. We the one make people believe who's hot, now, not hot. Especially when it comes from the West. The reason why people buy West Coast music, because they think the artist is hitting those corners. They think they really in low rides. They really think they even drinking 40s. They really think they really wear dickies, khakis, whatever you want to call it. But they don't. So it's really on us. It's really on us to pull the sheets off these old guys and start letting these new guys pass the baton to the new guys from the ghetto who really deserve it. And I hate to drag on, but I'm going to keep dragging on.
Drag on, man.
Because you know what? They might not like what I say, and I might get violated. So I'm going to go on and talk while I can talk.
Violated.
You know, I ain't scared of the penitentiary. I always would say, I might not want to go back, but I never say I can't go back. God made me a man. I'm going to do time, I'm going to do whatever. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm not trying to live to be 130. I'm just trying to live long enough to take care of my kids and be healthy. Because when I can't be healthy, I can't be myself, I don't need to be here. A lot of people are scared of death. Some people believe in heaven, some people don't. I really deep down inside, a lot of people believe in heaven. If you ask this whole room, who all believe in heaven, who all want to go to heaven, raise your hand. Half the people going to raise their hand. Who want to go to heaven, raise their hand. They going to raise their hand. Then you turn around and say, who want to die? Nobody going to raise their hand. To get to heaven, you got to die. To get the real money, you got to make a sacrifice. To own your masters, you got to give up something. We don't need no sometime people. We don't need, I don't care if it's, matter of fact, let's do a roll call here today. Where's Daru? Where's Redman? Where's Herb Gotti? Where's P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever you want to call him? Where's, I can go on and on. Where's Pete? Where's the Outkast? Where's Jermaine Dupri? Where's it?
This is a West Coast beat.
But at the same time, they want to come out here and West Coast love. At the same time, when it's an East Coast summit,
We out there.
these old Hollywood wanna be fake niggas is out there. So why they can't show the same support, brother? Not an idiot, don't get me wrong, you know, it's cool. At the same time,
Isn't the reason why they don't show their support in Los Angeles is because of confrontations and beefs that have been taken from these records and to the street, the hip hop, all that.
well, you gotta realize one thing, hold on, sister. One thing you can't realize is this, I don't have nothing against the Bloods and the Crips.
Wait a minute.
That's a part of the ghetto.
Okay, wait a minute.
I don't have nothing against somebody trying to make their money.
I helped start this hip hop. I was one of the first artists on Death Row. And the only
You weren't the first artist on Death Row, you was one of the artists on
I
Death
was
Row.
one
Yeah,
of
man.
the
But at the same time, Joel,
Before it was a Death Row, there was a shop.
Joel going-
DOC was there, we didn't even have a label. I helped name the label. And my main concern is now, is the youth and the rest of the people that are here. If you have beef with
With all due respect, sister, we're gonna have a question. When brothers
Yeah.
brothers, sisters, we are gonna let us speak, but in the proper way. In the proper.
You cannot continue to let
No,
certain statements
I
be
got it.
made, and they're incorrect, because these are our minds, and we're being fed. And I am one of the artists, I represent
Sister.
Jesus Christ. And it's been too long that we have to keep working this, and I do apologize.
Sister, you don't have to apologize.
Okay,
We want you to
I
speak.
do apologize, but I cannot sit here and continue to let the devil detour our purpose for being here. That's serious. And I deeply apologize. I deeply.
And that nigga up there saying they can't shoot that ain't real though. That's not what this means. You don't come here especially. Nah, but I'm saying though, he's saying shit though, but this ain't the minister just spoke. He didn't even hear. The minister though just spoke. He didn't even hear what the whole meaning about.
at the same time, I don't care what nobody say. As men, we have a responsibility. As men, when all eyes on us, when it's a situation where the United States, I don't care if it's the ghetto, I don't care if it's the world, when it's a problem, they need somebody to be strong. They're not gonna look at the women, they're not gonna look at the kids, they're gonna look at the men. So if you're a man, you're gonna come face your accuser. You're gonna come to support. You can make excuses all you want to. You can swim, you can sit with women all day. But it's a man's world. Don't get me wrong, I got love for the women, but it's still gonna be us on the front line. If it's a war, it's gonna be the men on the front line. That's what's wrong now. It's 2002, there's more women speaking than men. And some of these, hey, I see a problem going on. You can say what you want to say about what I see going on. Because men, not all of us, some of the men want to be women. And some of the women want to be men. But everybody can talk about God, everybody can talk about Jesus Christ. But I'm gonna tell you something else. I ain't no gay basher. But sucking coochie is the devil. So you can't talk about what you're doing today on Sunday and Tuesday night. You know, I go out too. I see your peanuts. I see you on that dance floor eating that girl out. Now we're gonna have a more productive conversation and work and stuff. Okay. The thing is this. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. It's this. At the end of the day, at the very, very end of the day, it's how many people want to have a union. How many people want to get together and say, okay, we're going to network. You got a deal at Universal and your points is too low. You got a deal at Universal and they got 100% of your publishing. You got a deal at Sony and you don't own your masters, but it's your artist. And I'm gonna tell you one other thing before you guys go. If you really want to know what's going on, it's real plain and simple. A lot of record companies tell you that at the end of the day, you have the right to buy your masters back. If someone's already yours, come on, Chris. Hey, homies, everybody is. You know one thing about us, we don't gotta get in front of the camera and act up. We are who we are.
But some people did bring their children here, and the purpose of this is for peace and unity. And the children are our generation that are buying the music. I drove right from San Francisco with my son, and the next person.
Yes, I knew that was my people.
I'm glad. Come on up here.
I might never on my puppy, but let's just meet on one level, so little eyes and little big.
You're exactly right. Okay, you're exactly right.
You're right.
Hey.
This is the organized meeting. You see people, they showing their response. People like came in for that, coming with a whole other vibe.
They gonna learn or not.
But that's the price of some children that are here.
That's not at all.
I knew that was my little cousin.
Hey, look.
Hey, try.
What I'm gonna do is this.
For all of the
Nigga stay east side.
families,
Saturday, Big Friday, 21st Street.
Yeah.
everybody have a seat.
Train the billion, man. We gonna get it, man. Keeping modulating up this way,
Take
man.
pictures,
It
please.
is.
Thank you. They knocked him down, he got up, and he turns out history showed the greatest mayor that Washington, D.C. has ever had, the Honorable Marion Barry, and his wife, Paul Mastersback. Now,
Why the bulletproof vest?
Oh, it's not. Oh no, that's just it's the
you know,
new style. You've been in the can for a while. This is what everybody. That's what all the talk show hosts are wearing.
This is a new thing, right?
Yeah.
See, if somebody gonna do something about it,
Right.
technology is so high, right?
Right.
So if you shoot somebody, you go to jail forever. So the kids, you don't want to go to jail forever, right? So
Right.
they got this new thing out there. People sell them all the time. They got this stuff they call, they get blood from somebody with AIDS.
Yeah.
And then they shoot you with it.
Oh,
so
well, that
that's
seems
don't happen.
bad.
That's
Yeah.
a slow death.
Yeah. Yeah.
An easy thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no. Okay.
Wait, right in the mood.
Wow. Well.
The doctor gave me 6 months to live. They never. So her and Jamel, my son, never heard it. So that's why I sped up the album and I sent you what I sent you, because he gave me 6 months. So I wanted to do something positive than just all the dick sucking records and pretty much what was popular back in those days.
You're right.
So my grandkids can have something that they're proud of their Nana Jewel. So when I talked to Sharitha, she didn't even know. And I said, this guy, Art, he doesn't know that I'm about to probably give him what would become some of the most, because remember when I asked you, how do you break your interviews down? And you was like, oh, I do them sometimes 15-minute segments. Just, you're probably going to have some of the most iconic footage out there before I do this final documentary. Because it's not going to be long. But I beat the odds, because 2019 was my first diagnosis, and I have all the paperwork to substantiate the longevity of my life. I died at Walmart and they brought me back to life. Now, Jamel was around for that. And the guy that actually saved my life, he used to be an EMT in Puerto Rico. And his name was Javier. So he was the one that actually pumped me until the ambulance got there when I stopped breathing at the register and saved my life. So I've held this from most of my family because I've always tried to be the strong one and not really let them know what was going on with me, because I just didn't want them to know. So I'm giving you a very special blessing right now. And I feel good about it because Sharitha told me you was a good dude. And all the stuff you did for Gonzo's family, I want to be instrumental in these videos and put some more money back in your pocket, because not too many people would just come out of their pocket to make sure artists that have never given them anything has a proper burial. So me and Brandy, and she didn't know at the time, sister, give me a tissue. We just started. It's so funny because when I first came up with Rawhide, it was recording artists with health issues. We've been losing a lot of our recording artists lately. And I told her to start a Facebook page called Rawhide, recording artists with health issues. And we're going to randomly help one recording artist from the 80s or the 90s. Because at that time, the record companies, they didn't get you health insurance. So you basically had to pay for everything medically out of your pocket. And at that time, they wasn't telling you to sign up for Lords of London and, protect your voice and stuff like that, your most valuable assets. So a lot of these people like Gonzo and Nate Dogg, they died without really any money to take care of their kids, their families. So we started a Facebook page called Rawhide Productions and Rawhide Incorporated. And we're going to use whatever money from the donations and actually assist, like you did, in burying some of these people that don't have life insurance, maybe paying for some of the hospital bills, or in my case, a double lung transplant, which it ain't. Well, I ain't going to say that because God is a good God. I might can come up with $1 million within the next 6 months. But I'm a joyful person. They're really sad right now because I never said nothing to them, but I lift their spirits because God is a good God. And I live actually past 2 years of my death sentence. And I probably came close to death 4 times, aside from this lung injury illness. So we're going to take a small break while I clear my face and straighten up my makeup. But I wanted to make sure you, young man, because you do so much good out there with getting the right information, you know, because you get to the root of where the info comes from, and you try to give the fans and other people a chance to know the truth. And I respect you so much, my brother. I really do. So October 29th, Love Plus Pain Equals Music is coming out. And I will be able to leave something positive to my legacy other than just the degrading songs. And I mean, they were fun. I'm not gonna lie. They were fun to do at that time because that's what was selling. You know, Too Short did bitch. And back in those days, that's what we was doing. So it was very fun to do. But Art, the dialogue, and my homie Kyle, who I just met, you guys are going to have some epic footage because you are very well deserving. When a person gives his heart to help others and asks nothing in return, God, he appreciates that. And he wants you to know you're doing a great job. Some of it, they don't always understand the way you have to go about getting your information, but you're a good dude. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to do the interview with you. And I want to say God bless you, and may he continue to bless all your endeavors because you're a good dude. Art the dialogue.
She rose to the top of the 90s music scene with her signature hooks on tracks from hip-hop heavyweights, including Tupac Shakur, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre. And now the hip-hop community mourns the death of Jewel Caples, who was known as First Lady of Death Row Records. A recently launched GoFundMe reveals a public statement from the singer's son. It reads, "While she was an amazing singer, artist, and mother, she was never able to get her flowers while she was here. I know my mother touched the lives of many people, either in person through her words, or friendship, or through her music."